Hi, my name is Emma Yoakum and this is Remade by Emma. Welcome to my channel where I knit, sew, and DIY, often using secondhand materials. Today we are talking about my winter knitting plans. So grab something to work on and let's get started. My very first winter cast on is something that has been very anticipated. I don't know how to get started with this story. Basically, something that I love to do is reclaim yarn from thrifted sweaters, especially sweaters that are high quality materials such as wool or cotton or cashmere. But also I love to get sweaters that probably won't have much of a second life with someone else, whereas like they're just out of style kind of, or maybe a little funky or damaged. So that's kind of the story with these two yarns. So basically, when I first picked up knitting again in my adult years, I did not have very much money because I was a college student. So thus came the habit of going to the thrift store and getting sweaters and unraveling them to use for yarn. So that is this yarn. It's a purple 100% cashmere that came from this odd sweater that had like a cowl attached to it. Yeah, weird, but 100% cashmere. Perfect. Obviously, it's a very thin yarn. It's lace weight, and so I would have to use extremely tiny needles and it would take a million years. So I then went to the thrift store again, searching out for another purple sweater to unravel to use the yarn for, and that is where this yarn came from. It was a purple 100% wool sweater that I unraveled, and it wasn't necessarily the ugliest sweater. I actually did wear it for a while before unraveling it, but it had like these odd looking sort of cable texture and gaudy gold buttons and stuff like that. So I decided to unravel it to pair it with this yarn. So that's 100% wool and 100% wool, 100% cashmere, very dark purple. Still both lace weight and very thin yarns. So I sat on these yarns for a long time. I've had them for years, mainly because it is a very thin yarn, but also I'm not super in love with this very dark, cool tone purple. After some analysis to my colors that look good on me, purple and cool tones are not really one of them, but I still want to use this yarn, and I think I can make something that I will end up wearing a lot. So an acquisition that I talked about in my last video was this Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair in the color Bordeaux. I love this color of purple, and though purple is probably not the best color for me to wear, this shade of purple I think will be a lot more flattering than this shade of purple. So I'm pairing them all three together, and it will beef up the yarn even more and make it a little easier to knit with. So I'm very excited about that. I did knit up a swatch, and this is on like I think it's on a 5mm needle. And I did that because I was trying to meet gauge for a specific pattern. I was going to use a free drops pattern. I will put it here. I can't recall what the name is exactly, but it'll be on the screen. I do like this cardigan, and I want a purple cardigan. That was the goal. I like this cardigan. There are things that I like about it, but it's still not perfect to me. I like that it has cables on the sleeves and on the front. I think it looks very feminine. I will put up a picture of a purple one that very much inspired me. And it is really a gorgeous pattern, but I don't know if the fit is exactly what I like. And it looks very simple in some ways. Like the button band looks very simple. And I just think that this fabric deserves a better design, if that makes sense. So, some more inspiration. I also came across these Cezanne cardigans that are very pretty and have similar details to that drops pattern where they have like cables or, you know, textured designs down the front. But they also have like a crocheted scallop edge for the button band, which I think is so cute and really plays on the feminine aspect. And this purple, I think, just deserves a feminine design. So basically, my plan is to freehand this little cardigan and just kind of use inspiration from both and like Frankenstein my own pattern from it. I don't know if this is the gauge that I will still be using because it is pretty holey, and I think I would like maybe something that's not quite so holey. It would be so fast to knit on this, and I do think I won't do like the smallest yarn ever. I'm okay with it being a little holey, but maybe not as much as this. I haven't even blocked this yet, actually, so maybe I should do that first. And then, I don't know, I do feel like I want it to be on a smaller needle so that it's a little bit tighter. So that's going to be my first cast on. I'm very excited about that. I have a few whips that I want to finish first, probably. I don't know, I think I'm going to keep doing some swatches and come up with a game plan before I actually cast this on. So I'll probably keep knitting swatches and finish my current whips and then get started on this purple cardigan. I'm very excited. So we're actually, I guess, on a purple train right now. I live in a fairly cold place, and it's currently winter, obviously, and it's cold, and I feel unprepared for how cold it's actually been. I have this yarn. This was actually a pretty recent acquisition as well. I got a bunch of sock yarns because I wanted to make some socks as Christmas gifts. This one though, it's labeled as a sock yarn, but it is 80% wool and 20% silk. So it doesn't have any nylon in it, which makes me think that it would not be a very durable sock yarn. Instead, I am going to make some fingerless gloves. Now, I do have mittens and gloves, but I very much like to have access to my fingers so that like while I'm driving, I can make sure I have directions, or I can like keep them on but check my phone for like grocery lists and stuff like that. So I very much feel like fingerless gloves, although they are probably not exactly aligning in my style and aesthetic, I feel like they would be very useful. So that's my plan for these. Hopefully I have enough. I imagine if it's enough for a pair of socks, it would definitely be enough for a pair of fingerless gloves. My plan is to use Cool Stitch's perfect glove recipe for this, and then just like getting to the point where I want to make it fingerless and just cast off those fingers. Yeah, that's my plan. I don't know if all of these are going to happen in the order that I intend them to, but I do feel that I need these. and I'm not necessarily excited to knit them, but I feel like they are a need. And it's very cold right now. It's only gonna get colder, so I should do it pretty soon. On to another exciting one for me. I am an avid thrifter. I love going to the thrift store and getting all sorts of things. Like I mentioned earlier, I love to get sweaters. This is a sweater that I thrifted a long time ago, and I did not thrift it with the intention of using it for yarn. It's 100% cashmere as well. I adore this color. This is my color. Like, this is the sweater that made me realize that I am warm toned. Like, this is my color. And I love this sweater because of the color and because it's very soft. It also, maybe you can see, it has some variation in the color. It's red and orange. It's a very like burnt orange, and I just adore it. I've worn this sweater many times over the last couple of years, and it is just, I've come to the realization that I'm not gravitating towards it as often as more, because I just find the shape of it to be too unflattering. It is like a men's sweater. Yeah, it's just not the most flattering fit on me, but I love the color, and I want to have this sweater forever, just maybe in a different shape. So now that I have some confidence in my knitting skills, I have decided I am going to unravel the sweater to use the yarn to make a new V-neck sweater in a better shape for me. So I'm going to unravel it, but I do want to pair a mohair with it. Speaking of thrifted yarns, sustainability is very important to me, and so I do like to thrift and get yarns secondhand, but I don't purely get yarns secondhand, although that is vastly what I do. I do occasionally get new yarns if it will increase the longevity of the item and increase the amount I wear the item. Those things are a contributor to sustainability to me. So mohair does that because, well, this one specifically does that because mohair strengthens sweaters. It makes it so they pill less. It makes them a little stronger, especially with a cashmere. Cashmere pulls apart very easily, so you have to be very gentle with it. But paired with a mohair, it adds a lot of strength and durability, and mohair prevents pilling. This one adds even more sustainability to me because of the color. It makes the yarn more of a color that I will wear more often, thus creating a piece that is more sustainable in my wardrobe and will be on rotation more often and will last longer in my wardrobe. So hopefully that makes sense. So I do a little bit of both. Most of it is thrifted materials, or not thrifted, secondhand materials. I get a lot of my yarns from eBay as well. I got like this sock yarn from Vinted. So yeah, anyways, I will be getting some mohair to pair with this sweater. I use the Drops Alpaca Silk mohair for a sweater a while ago, and it was extremely itchy, and so I'm trying this knitting for olive silk, soft silk mohair, and I already feel like it's definitely going to be more soft, but depending on how this cardigan goes, I will repurchase some knitting for olive. I've been eyeing the color pomegranate to go with this color. But if this is still not soft enough, I may go with Issayer mohair. We'll see. I'm hoping this works out because it is a little cheaper. So yeah, and from those yarns, I plan on making a Stockholm sweater v-neck by Petite Knit. Okay, well, so here was my debate. I absolutely adore the Great Lakes v-neck pullover by Ozetta. I think it is gorgeous. I love the saddle shoulder and just the silhouette of it. I think it is so gorgeous, but it's obviously a much bigger yarn than this, much bigger. So I would have to make crazy alterations to make this work for that. So I'm not going to do that. That's too crazy. I am going to make the Great Lakes v-neck pullover by Ozetta in a different yarn someday, but not right now. Instead, I'm going to make this Stockholm sweater v-neck by Petite Knit because it should be much closer to that gauge. I think she uses 2 strands of Issayer silk mohair, and so I plan on using 1 strand of silk mohair and 1 strand of cashmere and hopefully meet gauge for that. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And this is the other reason why I have decided to do that. I have this leftover tweed yarn from my Dagmar jacket actually. But this sweater is also made from a thrifted sweater, 100% tweed wool sweater that I thrifted and unraveled to make this sweater, but it did not really work out because I ran out of yarn. I guess that sweater was a lot smaller than this sweater, and basically I knit the entire body in that yarn and then realized that I definitely did not have enough yarn to finish the sleeves. So I ended up finding a very similar yarn off of eBay, and basically it was crazy. I split the original yarn and I split the new old yarn and combined them together. Here's an example. This has some of the new yarn and some of the old yarn. So like that strand is the original yarn. This one was the new one that I got off of eBay, and I held them together to create the sleeves because you can tell that it's a different color. That's similar but not the same as this. This is cooler, this is warmer. So I split them and the sleeves are both. You can still tell, but it's not as bad. I also did it on the button band, and the bottom edge, the collar, is with the combined yarn. Anyways, it was this whole thing. Oh, here's another one that I have that has both. Anyways, now I have 1, 2, 3. I have 4 of these skeins left, and then I also have these, which are the combined old and new yarn. And I would like to make a v-neck slipover / vest with them. I have this pink vest that I wear all the time, and it's something that's very versatile in my closet. It adds warmth, but not too much warmth. Like, for example, right now, I am sweating to death in this, what's this called again? Dagmar jacket. A vest adds a little bit of warmth, but not too much warmth. I want to make a vest with the remaining skeins of this yarn. I wanted to make the Stockholm slipover by petite knit. But obviously I'm already planning on making the Stockholm sweater v-neck by petite knit. So my plan is to just get the sweater pattern and then hack it to make a vest. We'll see how that goes, and if it doesn't go well, then I'll just get the slip over pattern as well. But it feels stupid to get both to me when I could probably just hack it. So that's what I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try and hack it, and if that doesn't work, then I will just buy the slip over pattern. So I'm very excited for that. I think it's something that will be very versatile in my wardrobe, and it will use something that's in my stash, which is also really great. Oh, and I did mention, but this is from eBay, so still secondhand. On the train of it being winter and not feeling prepared enough for how cold it is, I would like to make some more winter accessories other than just like the fingerless gloves. I would love to make an Alex hood. It's gorgeous. A creator on here recently made it. Actually, something I want to do in my videos is do a creator shout out. So I will just shout her out right now. Her page is Camille Makes. She's on YouTube and on TikTok, and she recently made the Alex hood from Knitting for Olive, and it is so pretty and I love it. I'm pretty sure it was her that made it. I consume a lot of different knitting content. I'm pretty sure it was her that made it. It's a very nice looking hood. As someone who has bangs, I don't want to wear beanies. It messes them up, it doesn't look good, so I don't wear beanies. But I would wear a hood, and I don't have one yet, so I would like one. And I like the Alex hood because I feel like it is both a hood and a scarf together. So yeah, and it's just gorgeous. So I do not have the yarn for this yet, but hopefully I will acquire some, either like from some thrifting trips maybe, or I will find a yarn online. So yeah, I would like to make that one at some point. The last one I would like to make is a poet scarf by Sari Nordlund. I just like the way this looks. I think it's so pretty, and I feel like if I had some leftover purple from this purple cardigan, I would maybe use it for that. I don't know if I will have any leftover. I feel like I probably won't have enough for a poet scarf, so I might have to get a different yarn for that, but it's just so pretty, and again, I really want some winter accessories. So I closed out the video, and then I realized that I wanted to also talk about some sewing plans for the winter, because I do knit and sew a lot. Yeah, and I didn't talk about the sewing plans. I just have a few, and I will just put up some inspiration. I have a fabric stash, but I haven't like pulled out specific fabrics for these projects or anything like that, and who knows if they'll all get done, but these are just some sewing things that have been inspiring me lately. So let me get started with that. I love quilting. I actually, in my last video, I was talking about some stockings that I quilted for Christmas, and I just like doing stuff like that. So something that I have been inspired by, I've seen this like little house quilted wall hanging on Pinterest and like all the platforms, Pinterest, Instagram, and TikTok. And I have this very specific spot over our TV that I think I would like something like that. Just like a little house wall hanging. So that's one thing on my list to maybe DIY. I also very, very much want some more knitting project bags. I have one, let's see, I have it right here. I have this one, also quilted, very cute. I love it. I could definitely just make more of these in like different quilted patterns, but I think I might try something maybe slightly more simple or something like that. I'll just put some inspiration of different project bags that I have seen, and yeah, I would like to do some of them. Actually, Camille makes, she recently made this really cute project bag that goes along with the house quilt project I was thinking of, and it's adorable, and maybe I will copy her and make one like that. I also have seen inspiration of some felted project bags, which I think would be a great use of scrap yarns. I don't think I have enough wool scrap yarns for something like that, but maybe, or maybe I will, you know, come across some wool yarn and do something like that. And then lastly, I would like to make, they're all bags, all quilted bags, kind of. I would like to also make a bigger diaper bag for me and my baby. As she gets bigger, I like to bring like a change of clothes for her. I use cloth diapers, and she's in the bigger size of cloth diapers now, so they take up more room in the diaper bag, and I would just like to have a bigger diaper bag or just like a kind of duffel bag sort of thing for when we go like out of town, because I don't really have something that's like small to just put her stuff in, but also big enough for everything. Those are my winter knitting plans. I do not know how attainable this list is because I am a new mom. I have a 3-month-old baby, and so I don't have all the time in the world to do my different crafts, and I feel like my time is just going to dwindle more and more as she gets older, but we'll see. But yeah, I feel like it's kind of attainable, kind of not. I think a lot of these will at least be cast on during winter, and they may not get all the way done before the end of winter. It's exciting to dream about these different knits, and I can't wait to get started once some of my current whips are done. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. Comment down below what you worked on while watching this video. If you're interested in following me on any of my other platforms, you can find me on Instagram and TikTok. I will have them linked down below. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one.